Let's do it. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Hello, everyone. It's basically DFuxa here with Cornish Knight. And this is a game
Yo.
called Dawn of the Zeds. So, Cornish, what do you think about this game we got here for us?
I watched the first couple of episodes. I haven't watched all your episodes when you were doing a single player run through of this title. It looks like an interesting title. It's basically from what I could understand, a tower defense game on a board game.
Yeah, or I
Uh,
guess for people who've actually played board games, is a State of Siege type of board game, but whatever.
yeah, State of Siege. Um, it looks interesting. It's different from the other ones we've played. So I'll be looking forward to seeing how this works.
And yeah, something very interesting about this game is that we can set up very easily as well.
Hmm.
So we just go over here to the game setup here and put up to long co-op stand solo stuff like that. We have a basic game, and let's just see here. Scripted setup, go. All right, do you want to basically pick your heroes now or later?
Um, well, pick a hero now. How do I do that?
All right, so basically there's a bunch of heroes we can basically pick. So we'll just click
Yeah,
this right now. So we basically get to pick a couple of heroes here. We have
yes.
essentially Captain Piazza, Mayor Hernandez, and Sheriff Hunt basically pick from.
Okay, okay. And I see they have abilities, and they see have various abilities, and they have stats at the top. What do the stats represent?
All right, so basically on top here we have numbers for 3 and 2. We have like a arrow with a 5. Then they have abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Basically like the first number in white here is basically their attack stat when they're basically at full health. And as they get
Yes.
injured, they'll basically have a damage stat where basically you have reduced strength as they're getting damaged. The
Yes.
arrow basically represents their movement. So Captain Piazza here basically moves at a speed of 5 as compared to arrow who moves at a speed of 4.
Yes.
And there's abilities. So
Excellent.
easy
So,
breakdown for them.
you've played this game before, this board game before.
Yep.
What would you recommend as a good starting character for someone who has not played?
Um, I'll just note that one thing here. I don't recommend Mayor Hernandez.
Okay.
So other than that,
M-
basically the other two characters are ones we're gonna basically play here. So pick your
Maybe
captain.
the sheriff.
Yeah, go for Sheriff or Captain. He doesn't really matter.
Yeah, go for the sheriff then, if that's okay.
Okay, I'll take Captain Piazza. Basically put her in your little
Ah, there we go.
box there.
Right here.
Isn't it nice that
Thank you very much.
the thing's scripted to just set up itself for us?
Yeah, it is. I must admit, the last game we played, which was it was the sci-fi tabletop game.
Captain is dead.
The Captain is Dead. Yeah, but when we played that one, that was a lot of setup that we had to do, and that took time.
Hmm.
Okay.
And you can actually do this manually if you want to, but you don't have to, which is nice.
Yes, indeed. Um, for those of you who might hear any audio like glitching or anything, we are talking across Steam Talk at the moment because DFuxa is I think you said it was your headset had issues with Discord.
Yeah, I note that I'm actually using a Razer basically headset for those who basically know what the what the brands are like. And Razer basically doesn't have very good software that interacts with Discord and actually causes issues. So we're basically using Steam as a result.
Yeah. Um, yes. So and Steam doesn't have the doesn't always have the most stable of chat community or the talk communication on it. So if we have audio issues, that's the reason why, folks. Right. So we've picked our characters. Now what?
All right, so now we're going to begin the game if we want to. But before we do
Right.
that, let's actually have a look at the board here. So I'll note that basically when we basically did the setup here, it basically did everything for us. And we're going to have
Yes.
a look at the board to see what's going on right now. So at the start of the game, we basically have a look for heroes and civilians and such basically at the town center here. We basically have Captain
Yes.
Piazza, we have Mr. Johnson, we have Deputy Smith, and we have Sheriff Hunt. We also have the Farmingdale Furies as well as a civilian unit basically in town, and these guys basically sort of like the defenders basically of Farmingdale. On the outskirts, we basically have some zombies pouring in. So right now we have basically on the mountain track a strength 5 zombie. On the highway track down here, we have like a 4 strength zombie. Suburbia basically has a strength 6 zombie, and over here on the forest track we have a strength 5 zombie. And these guys are basically going to like slowly advance basically as the game goes on, trying to get to, like to the town center, basically trying to overrun it.
So they're hordes. These are like zombie hordes basically coming.
Not yet. They're basically just like small little like shambles at this point, but they'll form hordes
Okay.
eventually.
Yes.
All
Oh, so
right,
they're like
so
groups. Okay.
we're ready to basically start if you want to.
Go ahead. What do we do?
All right, so basically this game is played with like event cards, and the idea is that you're basically trying to run the event cards out to win the game, so to speak. So we'll go over here. Here's an event card. We'll flip it over, and this is our basically how it basically goes. We go left to right in these cards, and basically go through phases. We're playing in basic
Okay.
game like mode right now, which is basically like, the like I was like, no, this game basically has like multiple levels in it, where like you basically have like different like sets of rules basically for like how much of the game you want to basically play with. If you basically play to like the maximum levels, you have like lots of content for it in this game, but the basic game we're basically playing right now basically has like the core concept, and that's basically what it's all about.
Yeah.
So basically right now we're only using like the Z phase and the action phase over here. And in the Z phase here, basically we have a bit of movement on the hunting track as well as the suburbia track. And we also
Okay.
have like a special specialty thing happening here with like our action phase, but whatever. Um, basically how this game works, we follow like the tracks in here to see like where zombies move. So we're gonna have like zombies move on the the highway track over here. So this guy will go over here,
Okay.
and then we'll
So
have
they're
like
advancing.
then we'll have like a bit of like advancement on this track here, the suburbia track. So this guy goes over here. And
Okay.
then it gets to our turn. We basically have free actions basically to play with,
Yes.
and we have a special event happening. So, at the end of the phase, +2 ammo if a player is in a campground and place the goodies marker in the space as a reminder. So, we basically have like goodies over here in the hunting ground.
Okay.
Alright, so now we start taking actions to try and combat the zombie threat. What do you think? What do you think we should
Ready.
do there? Is Cornish?
Well, since that's ammunition
Yep.
up there in the camping ground, probably someone that has good movement should try and snag it early.
Well,
And
I'll note by the way that how movement basically works in this game. Essentially, all your guys will like use like an action point to basically move, and
yeah,
essentially like anyone can get up there because basically like less than 4 because 1, 2, 3
yeah,
like movements basically from it, so anyone can get there.
yeah.
I probably recommend like Mr. Johnson goes up there though because he's basically a forager, and up next to like the campground is basically Lucky Strike Blind, so you could go up there and possibly get some like goodies for us ammo wise basically. So
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
we'll use an event action maybe do
Uh,
that with him right there.
yeah.
All right, so what's the next action going to be? You think?
Well, probably we're having zombies knocking on our front doors already. You've got the six about to smash into the civilians down to the southwest.
Yep.
So maybe we should go and help one of those groups because if they get smashed too early, then we won't have anything that will slow the zombies down in case they come through there again.
All right. So we have basically 3 characters that we send down there, as well as like the Firing of Furies, as well as and a civilian unit.
Yeah,
I'll note that like there's two civilians down there. If we basically send Sheriff Hunt down there, you basically like we can use him to use his leadership. So that's one opportunity we can basically go for. We can also send
yes.
down Captain Piazza trying to like snipe him at range if we want to as well. Though that may not be a good idea. Who knows what the best thing to do is.
Hmm. I probably think maybe send my character because you said he has the leadership ability. Which is if I'm reading on the card, once per action, he may spend his leadership to make it to give one civilian or refugee unit a space or next turn next to him for free action.
Yeah, basically you can like
Maybe,
make him like try and like scavenge ammo or something, or like attack if we want him to.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, maybe we send my character down there to help out that unit because that's a pretty beefy bunch of zombies coming up the road.
Okay, your unit is right here.
Uh, but then again, it's a 4 versus 6, and that's a 2 versus a. Hmm, much for muchness, really. Maybe I'll go up here to the one up to the northeast and help them instead, because they look like they're more likely to get overrun.
All right. So you'll send your character up
That,
there.
yeah,
All right. So I'll note that to get all the way over there, we need to spend 2 movements for this guy. So he basically have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 up to right here to use his. So there's your player action, I guess, spent.
yeah.
And then getting down to like the civilians again, you have to like spend our movement points. So we'll spend event action basically to do that, I guess.
Is that going to be a problem?
No, it just means that we have like 2 events basically get them all the way out to the civilians to defend them.
Yeah.
All right then. So do you want to use your leadership to do anything?
Uh, Maybe. How does it work? Let's see. Once per action phase, you may spend his leadership action marker to give one civilian or refugee unit in that space on or next to him one free action. Place the leadership marker on this card to keep track of when you have used this ability.
Yeah. So you can
Okay.
basically make the civilian do something for us right now.
Yeah. But something like, how does attacking the zombies work in this?
All right. So there's basically 2 methods of attacking like zombies. You can make like a gunfire attack on them, or you can like just move into a space and try and like take them out in close core combat. I don't recommend doing either of those basically because it's probably better to defend against them right now.
Okay. Okay.
And
So
the civilian only has like attack of 2, so they wouldn't do much damage anyways.
okay. So maybe like leadership then maybe like what would you recommend? I don't really know. Um,
As a leadership action, you could probably make them like scouts for ammo right now, so they can like have some ammo for us to fire with like later on.
yeah,
So here's a
maybe
dice
do
for
that.
you.
Okay,
Just roll that in like hope for a 6, and we got
4.
4. All right, so basically have like a loot table down your thing here, and it has like
Yeah,
forging and basically like tells you about like what you're basically gonna get for like when you forge and stuff. If you basically roll like a 6, you'll basically get like ammo on like other namespaces or like towns and town centers and stuff like that. But
yeah.
um, we didn't roll a 6, so we don't get anything unfortunately. But whatever, that's
Yeah.
fine.
I take it that food is used for something else then.
Yeah, and like the higher levels you basically have like supplies, and that's basically like
Okay.
where that comes in. All right, so we still have a few more actions basically to do. I still got mine as well as like definitely Spick can do something as well. And we also have like one more event action as well. So let's see here. We're gonna have like zombies going elsewhere as well. I probably propose we should probably move like someone up to like help the define civilians basically up in like the forest track as well. So
Yep, that
I think
sounds good to me.
I'll move my character all the way up there, I guess. So she'll go up here to help
Sounds
defend
good.
them. And we should probably also get Deputy Smith into the action as well somewhere. He could probably move down toward the highway track to help them out if we want him to, or we move him down toward the suburbia track to help out those guys as well.
I mean, like the zombie, like if we get another event that's tied to them, these guys will be smacking on their doors. So yeah, maybe that'd be a good idea to help bolster our defenses.
All right, maybe we'll move him down toward the civilians over here for now,
Yeah.
and that'll be his initiative done. We have one more event action to basically use. We still have like one more like you're in the town center, the farm enough furies you can send somewhere.
Where do you think would be a good place to send them?
For now, maybe toward the highway track for now.
Yeah, probably.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, they can move 5, I think. No, they only move 4. That's fine. So it basically goes all the way over there to like the nuclear plant, I guess.
Okay.
All right, so that's basically it for our actions at this point. And I'll note that we also get, of course, +2 ammo because basically like Mr. Johnson's basically over there on the goodies. So we'll just take away this for now, and we'll get our 2 ammo. And that's
Excellent.
basically the first turn of the game.
Yeah, I
So
can see once
yeah.
you get the flow of this game down, it would be very like a lot more fast paced than we're doing it. But obviously, because I'm completely green and DFuxa is having to help me along, it takes a little bit longer. So expect faster rounds. Go ahead.
All right, so Basically, at the end of like the round here, we have to do like a housekeeping phase where we basically like flip over tokens and like everything else for like the next turn. So flip that open, flip it over, flip this over, flip this over. There we go, all done.
Radio.
All right, so let's go to the next turn. And next turn is well-armed civilians. All right,
Indeed.
so we're gonna have some movement from the Zeds again, and we're also gonna have like a special actions phase again. So that'll happen. It looks like the guys at Mountain Truck are gonna get attacked apparently.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do with zombies there, Cornish.
Okay, so how do we resist the zombies?
All right, so basically when like the zombies basically move into like a square of like villagers or like heroes or stuff like that. There's gonna be some hand to hand, and we have to basically choose one of these guys to basically defend the square. We can basically use Sheriff Hunt, who's basically got like 5 defense and toughness, and can like basically take him on like more or less on like a better terms than like the civilians can. Or we can basically use the civilians basically to soak up hits if we want to.
He is a sheriff, so let's use him to protect the public.
All right, so I'll note that Sheriff Hunt basically has like a strength of 5 and basically like is like attacking or like and stuff like that. So he
Yeah,
basically has like 5 attack basically versus the 5 like defense for like the zombies, so it's basically equal to each other. I'll note that he's
yeah,
also on a space that's like a namespace, and namespaces
yeah.
basically have like a shift on them, so he basically has advantage on them. So he basically has advantages over zombies if he's all that. So on your table here,
Yes.
I'll note that basically we have like hand to hand, and it basically tells you about all the values as well as like what columns basically use. So right now we basically have human advantage of 1, so you basically have to roll basically like a 5 or 6 basically to like cause the zombies to retreat. And if you basically roll it lower than that, basically you're forced to retreat. So that basically is how that basically happens. Also note by the way that depending on like how much like damage you basically take, you have to like possibly roll for like reducing damage to yourself as well. But whatever. Let's go with the first thing here.
Okay.
So there's 2 dice for you, and basically you have to
Radio.
like roll these 2 dice and hope for the best. All right, so you got 9. So I'll note that with a 9, basically you take 1 damage and the zombies take 3 and are forced back. So these zombies here get flipped over, and they go back over here to
Okay.
trail 6, and you take 1 damage. Now, I'll note that, like, Sheriff Hunter, he's basically like a fighter, so he's actually got something called
I
Tough, and you
yeah.
get to roll dice to try and, like, negate that damage if you basically want to. So let's roll that 1
Okay.
dice there and hope for, like, a 4, 5, or 6 on it. And you got a 1. So basically, Sheriff Hunt
I'm not
takes a,
seeming to roll these dice very well.
yeah. Sheriff Hunt basically takes
uh,
a damage point there, so he's basically flipped over to his other side, unfortunately.
yeah.
But basically, like you defend the civilians there, so that happened finally.
Okay.
All right, so that's basically the mount track. I actually should have done the force track there first, but whatever. We'll just move this guy over here, and that's basically the zombies phase basically done. All right, so
So I haven't used the road. I haven't used Tabletop Simulator for a while since trying to get the dice to roll properly for me. Radio.
at the beginning of his phase, place the well-armed marker on a regular civilians unit. I probably should have done this first, but whatever. Until it
Yeah.
ends up in a cemetery, this unit basically receives a shift 1 in hand-to-hand combat and gunfire. So we basically choose to make one of our like civilians live better there. Which civilian do you think should
Uh,
be better?
where are they coming from? The Zeds. They're coming from a green and red zone. So,
They're coming from
where is
everywhere.
that? Are they?
Yeah, they'll be coming from everywhere. Don't worry about that. So
Okay. Maybe then these people up here, who are about to get smacked by a 6 strong horde.
yeah, they're probably a good candidate for it anyways because they basically have the uh highest attack value of the civilians here as well. So leave that to him. They'll be
Yeah.
able to defend themselves a little better. All right, so
But they all. Yeah.
we basically have 2 actions this time around. And it's time for us to make some decisions on what we want to do here.
Okay. Uh, well, I don't think there's a way for my character to heal, is there? No.
Not in the basic
What would
game,
you
no.
recommend? No. Like, what would you recommend? Like, we could try stamping out the Zeds coming down from the mountain track way, maybe.
Okay, that's one
Like,
idea. I probably recommend
um,
making a gunfire attack on them.
yeah, like doing a gunfire attack and trying to break their numbers.
So
So how would we
basically,
do
I'll note
that?
that if you do a gunfire attack, there's like an air table for 8 over here. You basically
Yeah.
have a attack value free right now because you're basically injured. So you basically roll like 5 or 6 per higher, basically cause any damage to these guys if you can.
What total on what 2d6?
Yeah, on a 2d6, basically a 5 or 6, basically two dice. So
Okay, let's see if we can do that. Come on, baby. Oh, I'm just not rolling well at all.
I know.
Like my dice just aren't turning over at all. Like, what? Why is? So I'm just gonna just experiment. Don't look at me. Like, yeah, they're really not like. Last time we played, maybe I have to just. No, they're really not like. Hmm.
How's it look if I do it, by the way?
Yeah, yours go across the map. Mine just sort of.
There we go.
That's a bit better. Yeah. Anyway, I got two. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
so
two. Let's.
basically nothing happened.
Yeah.
Do you want to try again?
Yeah, perhaps because it'd be a good idea to get rid of those guys. But if you want to use the action for something else,
No, that's
don't
fine.
let me hog.
It's probably worth it to kill those guys because they'll like make it a little bit easier for next time. So keep going if you want.
Okay, okay, let's come on.
Three.
I
All
just not
right.
like. Should I just flip the dice or something? Is at the moment it's not rolling at all.
I'll note by the way if you want to. If you think there's like an option to roll if you want. So you press R to just go up
Ah,
and
there I see. Yeah, yeah,
that's one way you can do it.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that then next time. It seems to do get a better roll out of it.
All right. So
Useless now though.
do you want to try one more time to
Fiddlesticks.
fire at the zombies or just leave them be? You think?
Yeah, let's try one more time.
All right.
Oh, you. Oh, okay. I am so sorry, DFuxa.
So this is a game where luck plays a role in how well you do, as you can
Yeah,
see.
and I've got terrible luck because I've managed to fail basically a 50% chance 3 times.
All right.
Uh,
I recommend making the civilians basically like scavenge for some ammo, I guess, because you still got leadership.
yeah, okay. Let's do it.
Lovely roll.
Uh,
So,
I shouldn't roll from now on. I really shouldn't.
well, it is your character, unfortunately, so not much choice there. All right, so
Oh,
we still have some actions points for the other guys here, I guess. So Deputy Spade can probably move up to these zombies if we want him to. I think that's
probably
probably
be a
a
good thing.
good idea. So let's maybe move him over to. Actually, you know what? This guy's bull armed a civilian here. Maybe we should just leave those guys alone. Let's have Deputy Spade do a little bit of like searching for like goodies, I guess. So let's try and scan for some ammo with him, I guess.
Yeah, you do it.
We got two, so nope. That's flipped over.
Uh,
All right, I still have a
I'm
player
cursed,
action.
I say. I'm cursed, I say.
I still have a player action, so I think what I want to do with it, um, I'm gonna maybe move like Mr. Johnson here up to the Lucky Strike bind, so basically we can get our ammo going soon enough with him,
Yeah.
and that's basically it for our phase. So
Do we have we don't we have the lady, the one
oh
what's her name?
here's the thing about this game, by the way. You don't actually have to move everyone basically in this game. Basically, you want to go like pour all your actions to, like one guy if you really want to. So do a specific action if you really want to, like we did with like Sheriff Hunt here. So like we made him
Yep.
like fire 3 times. So, like he missed all 3 times, but he tried.
Let's not speak of that.
But yeah,
That did
like
not
next time, like for example, we could have like Mr. Johnson like search for ammo 3 times, for example, and like get a bunch of ammo, for example.
yeah, if we're not dead by the next gets round. Anyway, yep. So what happens now?
Well, that's basically it for that phase. Let's just like flip everything back over. So flip, 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 flip,
Uh,
and let's go again. All right, so cardio. All right, so note that you should always like read like the the card first before like do everything else. So at the beginning of this phase, Place one new Z unit on the empty start space of your choice, if possible. Otherwise, place it on a start space with the lowest strength Z unit. If and when a Z unit enters a space occupied by any civilians or hero unit this turn, you may free retreat that unit instead of engaging in hand-to-hand combat. Alright, so we have to place like a Z unit somewhere there, Cornish. Where do you want to place it?
Well, given my terrible, terrible luck, probably let's go for the northwest. Let's go up on the forest track.
Alright, so we're going to place Strength 4 zombie over here in the forest track. Alright, so I'll note that on the suburbia track we basically have 2 moves for the zombies here. They're basically move up to like this like unit up here. Do we want these guys basically to retreat, or do we want to basically stand firm and try and fight?
Well, they've got a +1 from being in a named territory, and they're well armed, aren't they?
Yep.
So that's a draw when it comes to the melee counter.
Actually, I think it's a little
Equal.
bit better actually. So they have like
Okay.
+1 for being well armed, and +1 for
Yep.
like basically being like on the namespace. So basically have like Zed's advantage goes up to like =2, and then they have a human advantage of 1 because they have like the extra thing there. So
Okay.
they're probably best off to basically defend right now if we want them to, basically. So we want to defend.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Defend. You do the roll.
All right, so
I don't. I don't trust myself.
let's see here. We roll a 7.
7.
So we roll a 7 on a human advantage. So that basically means that they take 1 hit, and the zombies take 2. So let's take a hit marker and throw like hit on zombies here. And the civilians also take 1 hit as well.
Not great, but hey ho.
They're not dead yet.
No.
All right, so I'll note there's actually 2 moves on the suburbia track. So this guy's actually attack him again. Do we want them to flee again, or do we want to basically fight again?
Probably this is a really strong defensive location, so maybe hold it again.
All right, so we go again.
Don't we have a higher chance of winning this time?
I say yes.
12.
All right, so we have a 12. That's an automatic, basically like 3 hits to him, I guess, or 4 hits actually. So the zombies are dead.
Doesn't that kill them? Yeah,
It kills them
that wipes them out.
outright, so they're dead.
Okay.
So we kill off the zombies. There's a Cornish.
Excellent.
Now,
We
actually,
purged the small swarm.
I'm just gonna do a quick look at the thing here. So, let's see here. Zed space, blah blah. Okay, so that's fine. But it's basically like
You will notice.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say you will notice, viewers, that on the sections that the DFuxa is defending, he is doing fine, while my side is absolutely getting trashed.
Oh well. So yeah, I'll note that I'm misreading here because basically like we have like nose units basically on the Z space there. I'll note that next time we basically have like moves on like the suburbia track, we'll have to place a Z unit basically to like do stuff. So that'll be happening soon, I guess. We also have like a pressure phase on this like card here, by the way. So I'll note that I never actually did this in my basic game, but we basically have like a cooperative like play here, and that basically means that zombies to do like get to do extra stuff basically with like a cooperative game. So we basically have like a pressure event basically happening now, and that'd be like at the end over here. So let's just go to it, I guess. So a Zed's pressure event. So these basically apply during like co-op games or versus games, and basically in it we basically have like the Zed's basically move. So during like a Zed's move phase, which is basically what this is right now, we determine how many Zeds or unit mobs will move, and there's basically like, gonna be like 1 movement for them. So 1 Zed is basically move right now during our like thing here. And basically how this always works is that the strongest one moves. So the strongest one's basically gonna get an extra action to move right now. And
that's
which one's the strongest?
It's equal at the moment. It's equal because there's 2. There's actually no, it's not. It's the one to the northwest. The ones that are coming in from the track.
Yeah, I think that 5 is the strongest one over there.
Yep.
So yeah, basically that's the strongest Zed unit. So other than like if you have a Zed mob, that basically also counts as like a Zed move to do, but whatever. So we're basically move like the Zed unit or Zed's mob with the high strength 1 space closer. So he goes up here to Captain Piazza and says hello.
Yes.
Probably should have fired with Captain Piazza there a little bit, but oh well, that's fine. And that's basically it for like zombies, by the way.
Okay.
We get one action this
You got what?
turn.
Well, what do you want to do?
Alright,
Um,
so I'll note that there's basically Z units basically coming at us over here on like, the forest track.
yes.
And Captain Piazza is not in a very good space for it, like, to basically defend with. So I'm thinking it'd probably be a good idea to like, run and fire away. Basically, I'll note that Captain Piazza here has something called like, Overwatch, where basically after she makes a gunfire attack, she can basically move away from it. So that seems like a good
Yep.
idea right now. Just fire and run away.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use my player action to like, use that right now. And here we go. Okay, so I roll a 10. With a gunfire attack of 10, well, basically, like, with, she's actually got, like, I'll note
Yep.
that she's a sniper, so she only gets, like, damage based on, like, her range of stuff. So right now she's adjacent. She has, like, basically, like, a gunfire attack of 2. Basically, she rolls, like, 2 hits on these guys and runs away. So that's what's going to happen right here. So 2 hits on these guys, and she runs away. With the Defiant Civilians, by the way.
Okay.
Alright, so that was her action. I recommend probably using our second action to basically keep firing at these guys to sort of like puff them down a little bit. So that's what I want to do myself. What
Yep.
about you?
Uh, I would love to try and like recoup my shame and try and destroy the zombies coming down from the like where my character is, but it's if you want to shoot the ones that are coming from the northwest, and so go ahead.
All right, let's just try and like soften them up a little bit more, I guess. So
Yeah, because
do
they're the
this
biggest group. Yeah.
and that, and let's see how it goes. All right, so I rolled an 8.
8.
Now note that Captain Piazza, she actually moved like 2 spaces away at this point, and she's like basically like going to get a higher attack as a result of that. So at 2 spaces away, she actually have a gunfire attack of 4. So if she rolled an 8, and she's basically on the track of here 4, so she's actually going to 2 hits again. And she's going to basically like flip these guys over.
Yep, so
Basically,
they're
like
on
this
1
is
8.
the optimum range for like Captain Piazza. By the way, she wants to be like 2 squares away from guys to basically like do a lot of damage to them. So
Yeah, but we also now are in the situation where we can't really give up the territory she's now in,
yeah, that's
because
true.
if we do, we won't. If she does, she will have to go all the way back to the edge of the town center to get any bonus on her stuff now
Well,
if she gets attacked.
that's only if she gets attacked. But
Yeah,
she can like keep running and firing at people, right? So she's got a little bit of distance for that as well.
yeah.
All right, so um, we still have a player action and leadership token, and definitely Spit also has something as well. What do you want to do?
I'll probably use my character to try and scavenge some ammo if that's possible.
Yep, you can do that. You want to use a leadership token or like your player action or both?
Well, if we use the player action, I could try and attack the zombies with gunfire, but we haven't got much ammo at the moment. So hard choices. I might just try and scavenge some ammo.
All right, I recommend using 1 dice for that with the leadership, I guess. So
Okay.
flip 1 dice for like the civilians, and no
Ah,
dice.
nabbit.
Now,
I
I'll note by the
almost
way
got
that
6.
we do have like Mr. like Johnson up here on like the Lucky Strike mine. He's an actual
Yeah.
scavenger unit, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you want to do scavenging with him, you can get 2 dice basically,
Radio. Oh,
and
for the.
no dice.
Yeah, I really should stop rolling.
All right, so
Uh,
we still have Deputy Smith, I guess. I guess I'll make him like this, like spend his dice to like scavenge a little bit. So why not? And he rolled a 6, so there's we go. We got an ammo.
Look, everyone. Like this is why you send a Canadian to do a Cornishman's job. uh,
All right, so that's it for this turn. So housekeeping, we'll like flip
oh,
this back over.
my rolls are just terrible.
Ready to go to the next event?
Yeah, let's try.
All right, so
Oh boy.
I'm not sure if people have noticed this yet, but there's actually stars on these cards, by the way, and they basically dictate like how bad things are like currently in the game. So we start with like 1 stars. We're now into 2 stars at this point. All right, so at the beginning of this phase, place blah. We're not handling infections, so we're not worried about that. But place a new user edge unit on a superior track start space. So these guys basically get like a Z unit.
Oh, another 6. Oh
Um,
boy.
and then we have to like move these guys, of course, because why not? So they're gonna go over here. Now I'll note something by the way at this point. There's actually like another Z unit, and like this is actually the strongest Z right now, so they get to move again.
Yeah, they're gonna attack, aren't they?
And notice something that's at the bottom of this card here, by the way. Defending units get no train shifts. So
So
these
they're
guys are like in a bad position to be attacked like right now.
yeah, because melee with minor zombie advantage is
Not great.
actually it's not great.
All right, so yeah, basically these zombies here basically have like a advantage on these guys. They are well armed, so they basically have like an equal two, but it's not good. Ready to go?
Okay. Yeah, let's roll. Let's do it.
You want? All right, and we got 5.
Oh,
Well, that's better than ones.
no, not good
Um,
enough though.
I'll note that basically because like how it basically works in this game. I'll note you have like the white little retreat bars here basically means you're retreating. So these guys are forced back,
Yeah, and we take a ton of damage.
and yeah, they also take like 2 hits themselves. So these guys are basically flipped over, and they basically have like two strength basically fighting now as well as a hit on themselves as well. So not great. And the zombies take
Don't the
1 hit as
zombies
well.
take? Yeah, this is bad. For those watching, sorry folks.
But yeah, this is how this game
uh,
sort of plays sometimes. But well, um, so basically that's it for like the zombies' turn. We get 2 actions this time around. What do you want to do, Cornish?
yeah. Um, we need to reinforce down to the southwest. Needs to be reinforced. So we need to move this character. We need to move the deputy hero up,
All right,
or
do you want to
deputy
move them
sheriff
into
up.
the zombies, or do you want to basically like have them start firing at people? I think.
Uh, let's see. He gets a +1 for hand-to-hand combat.
Yep.
So I'm tempted to shove him into the settlement and have him hold it because he's better at holding the settlement
All
because
right,
he'll
so
get 6.
maybe we'll just move
Yeah,
him right here for now,
yeah.
and we'll just use that as an issue for for him.
And with the guns, we have 2 actions left.
Yep.
Maybe try and finish off these zombies with range fire in the northeast to
Okay.
try and clear that track.
So we'll use an event action and some ammo for that. Go for it. You roll a 6.
Oh,
Well, you basically caused, of course. Let's see here. You got basically like, a strength of 5 or 3 rather. So you basically caused 1 damage to him.
1.
That's better than none.
Yeah, not great though.
Do you want to try again?
Yeah, I want these. I want these Zeds dead if that's all right.
Sure, go for it.
Oh, wrong thing. Sorry.
Okay,
Another
you roll
6.
6, so a bit more damage to him. You want to try one more time?
Wait a minute. What isn't their strength lowered? They were because they took damage already, so they were lower down than they were
Well, I'll
previously.
note that gunfire attacks don't check for like the enemy strength, so you can have like
Oh yes, sorry.
you have like a strength not 11 mob, and like you be firing into him, and you can damage him that way. So that's basically like you take him like bigger down, the bigger like guys down.
Yeah, I will roll one more time if you're okay with it.
Go for it. And you got 9, so they're
9.
killed. We killed them
Okay.
off.
Yeah, but we used a ton of ammunition for it. We still got the prospector with his action that we could, or the scavenger. We could try and scavenge some materials with him.
Yeah, we could try and do that. I guess we'll use my player action to do that basically this time around because we sort of need the ammo at this point. So I'll
Yeah.
take 2 dice and we'll see how it goes. And no
Nope.
dice. All right,
Yeah,
so
we're running a bit low on ammo.
you still have your leadership. Do you want to use the civilian space to do something?
Yeah, I will. Let's see. Let's come on, baby.
No dice.
No, I just have no luck these days, folks. I'm gonna since this is the end of the event, I take it I'm just gonna put a quick cut in, folks. This has been Dawn of the Zedge with me, Cornish Knight, and my fantastic co-host Furax, and we will be back in a moment. See you all in a second.
I'll take a swig of water.
Yeah, me too.